Last week, we talked about time management, and we learned some systems that can help you make the most of the time that you do have for working on your English speaking skills. As managing your time well is essential in helping you avoid overwhelm, and it can drastically help you increase your confidence in yourself as a learner, which of course positively influences your outcome. This week, we're going to look at building confidence, increasing those feelings of being willing, worthy, and capable through the lens of habits. Let's jump right in. Depending on what they are, our habits will either make us or break us. We become what we repeatedly do. To give you a quick story, I once had a car that was not as shiny and new as this one. It was fairly old. It was 10 years old, but it was still in very good condition. One day, when I went to go to work, I turned the key in the ignition and it just wouldn't start. I was a teacher at a school an hour away by car. If I'd had to go on public transport, it would take about 2.5 hours. And I quickly realized that I had a busy day and I had to get to school. And I panicked. I called my friend who knows a lot about cars and I said, I don't get it. My car just had a checkup at the mechanics. They said it's fine. Everything's been great with it. I've never had any issue, but today it just won't start. My friend kindly came to my house to have a quick look at it. He didn't live too far away. And he took a quick look and he said, there's nothing wrong with the car other than there's an issue with the ignition. If I give you a jump start using my car, you will be able to start your car, drive to work. When you get to work, you can call the garage and you can tell them you've got an ignition issue. They can tow your car away and fix it, and you'll be able to drive home. And that's what he did. He went ahead and gave me a jump start, started my car, and he said to me, "It's fine. It's okay to drive it. Just don't stop until you get to work. Don't turn off the car, obviously." Simple enough instruction, right? I said to him, "Thank you so much. You've absolutely saved me. I'm so happy that it just needed a jump start. I can drive to work. This is amazing. Thank you." Now, at that time, I had been getting more and more tired. It was getting towards the end of term. I needed a holiday. I'm someone that believes in whole food and good nutrition and good amounts of sleep. All of those habits were starting to slip. And the last few, I would like to say days, but it was more like a couple of weeks, I'd been waking up a little bit late, not having my proper oatmeal breakfast, and stopping at a gas station, as they call them in Canada. We would say petrol station in the UK, but this was when I was living in Canada. Stopping there to grab a coffee and a protein bar. Now, if you'd asked me, do you eat protein bars for breakfast? I would have said, absolutely not, because I still identified with my old habit, which had been going on for years and years and years of getting up and eating a good, proper breakfast. But on this particular day, when I had the car that I was supposed to drive straight to work, I followed that habit that had been going on for a couple of weeks. I pulled into the gas station. I went to the side and parked. I walked in to grab coffee and a protein bar, and while I was paying, I suddenly realized, oh my goodness, my car is not going to start. And what a fool I am. And wow, this habit of stopping at the gas station to get a quick breakfast has become a real, true, automatic habit in just a few days, a few weeks, in just short amount of time. I've changed into this being my habit. It was a real eye opener for me. Thankfully, a really kind person at the gas station was able to give me a second jump start, and I managed to get to work and I got the car fixed, and it was no problem to drive home. But I think about that habit and I think about the shock of realizing, "Oh, this was automatic. I pulled in here automatically without even thinking about it, even though I didn't want to." So, habits are really like a train track that you are on, and it is taking you to your destination without you even thinking about where the track is going. So, there's certain moments in life where you can decide which track do I want to be on and make a decision about which habits you are going to have that will uh, help you travel forward. So, if we look at habits, we can talk about passive habits from exposure to things we get used to. Like, I got used to not looking after myself properly and rushing in the morning. And those kind of passive, unintentional habits, they create unintended consequences. Now, sometimes it could be a positive consequence, but mostly it's negative, and you are completely helpless because you're not even paying attention to the habits that you are creating. On the other hand, you can have active habits that are created from repeated intention and effort. So, for example, the habit of getting up and choosing which breakfast you want to make, or maybe laying out the things the night before, that had been an active habit for a really long time. Now, active habits, when you talk about things like learning English, they can create skills that can be performed with little thought or effort. So, if you have the active habit of working on practicing your speaking every day, you can give an impromptu speech. You can present powerfully. It becomes a skill that you don't even need to think about. So, of course, we want to build active habits. Remember the calm framework where you connect with your own sense of calm, you go within, you reflect on where you're at. I would really encourage you to spend some time doing that, having a calm, quiet reflection time, whether it is just thinking as you walk or journaling, and really think about what habits are helping me and which ones are hindering or not helping me. And then take the action of creating some active habits, using them, learning to see how it's going, and just knowing that that is going to help you get to a new level of mastery. So, how do we use our habits to help us achieve our goals? Well, first of all, we want active habits. We want to identify the habits you need. We want to prepare for interference because things come up in life, and we want to habit stack. And I will explain these concepts in just a moment. So, first of all, identify the habits you need. So, daily habits are easier to track. So, if you can speak English every single day, that is the ideal. But you do not want to fall into a perfectionism trap where you say you're going to speak every day and maybe you do for the first 3 days, but then you don't for the fourth, and all of a sudden you lose that habit. So it is good to use a weekly, not monthly tracker, because if you are someone who likes things to be perfect, and I would say try to let that go, but if you are aiming for perfection and you fall off track, then you'll wait till the end of the week to get started again versus waiting till the end of the month to pick up that habit or not picking it back up at all. So aim for a daily habit and track it weekly. Simple habits are the ones that stick. So start with something really easy, really simple, and then build upon it. Add complexity later. Be really specific. Include the how, when, and where so that you can track it. So, for example, instead of saying, I'm going to practice speaking English for 10 minutes a day, something like this: I am going to use one of the action tasks from this course each day and record myself speaking for 3 minutes. I will post the recording in the Facebook group after. I will do this at 7:30 a.m. each morning at my desk in my home office. So I'm being specific about what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. The posting it in the Facebook group, that's keeping you accountable, and it's also increasing the a little bit of increase in the level of stress around it. That you know someone is going to see it, and you are helping yourself move forward in that way. Okay, prepare for interference. Think ahead what obstacles might come up. What do you need to ask for or do to avoid those obstacles? So this is just good planning. If you know that you're going to do your speaking at 7:30 in the morning in your home office, but that's usually the time that your kids practice the violin. Well, maybe you could ask them to practice it earlier or later. Maybe you need to ask someone that you work with or live with for something that you do need or don't need. And then you want to habit stack. So you want to look for supporting habits. For example, if you already have the good habit of getting up in the morning and drinking a glass of water, but you always forget to take your vitamins, maybe you could do them together. As you drink the glass of water, you remind yourself, oh, I got to take my vitamin. And so you start stacking good habit on top of good habit. Another example, maybe at the time that you are going to record yourself speaking, you might also study some vocabulary, or you might watch a video first, and then you might choose to speak about it after, so that you are stacking those English learning habits. And the last thing you need to do is just enjoy automatic success. As you build these habits and stack the positive habits one on top of the other, you are building a powerful track that is automatically taking you to success. Okay, thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to jump into the action tasks.